So the latest episode of Reign of the Seven Spellblades just occurred, and a lot has happened in this episode. I mean, on the surface level, you may think, oh, this was just a whatever episode, things happen, especially a lot in the end. But honestly, I was just jotting down notes because there was so much that was happening. I'm just going to like rapid fire this stuff because it was crazy. I could be here all day talking about it. One, Nanao's popular. And of course, she's popular because of the fight that happened in the last episode. They were able to defeat that big old bird demon looking thing. And she was very pivotal about it. And even they made fun of the fact that even though Oliver helped her, she has a sword, so her movements and her slashes and stuff look all flashy while he's just going over there casting spells. And then, so even though he kind of helped and he did a lot, it didn't seem like he did a lot. So it was actually a funny moment that they actually made fun of. But we learned a lot of things here. Oliver showed his sister cousin, which is basically, I say that jokingly, but it basically what he calls his sister, but she's actually his cousin, which the way they made it sound like they may not even be related. That's a whole nother can of worms that probably will occur at some point in the future. Now, this is actually a very important moment. The episode actually started off with the spy or whatever bodyguard that he has apologizing that she wasn't able to help him in the fight that happened last time. But of course, she's saying how he needs to live so he can accomplish what he wants to do, which then showed us this image, which makes me believe, I assume this picture is of the Spellblades, or it's of, very important mages, wizards, whatever they call them in this world. The woman in the middle, I am believing to be his mentor, teacher, because she appears a lot of times in flashbacks of his, and she also appears in the ending credits. So off of just that, I'm speculating she's an important person that probably introduced or taught him how to do all the magic and stuff, because in this episode, he knew a lot of information about alchemy and making stuff. All of the other students in his class were messing up and blowing stuff up, and then he had to come in and actually fix it, which made the teacher notice him a lot more and take note of him. Now, I'm not really going to touch on that subject because I'm sure that's going to be important later. But like I said, a lot happened in this episode that we just need to speed this right along. Another thing, Andrews is a lot nicer. Now, of course, in this episode, he gave advice to Oliver, and he didn't have to. He gave advice about the teacher thing that, like I said, probably important in the future. And two, he pointed him in the right direction to talk to this other girl. Well, of course, you're like, oh, they gotta go talk to someone? Why? Now, this girl named Miss Mackley, she's important because come to find out, she was the one from episode 1 that made Katie's feet move so quickly and stuff to go towards the troll. And even though she was like, had the hood up and she did and everything, I think she might be lying or she may not be telling the whole truth. Come to find out, when they kind of showed the image of her, and yes, it does kind of look like her with the hood over her, and which goes into a whole nother subject of why is everyone picking on Katie? Well, Katie's of the group of humans that believe that monsters, things they call demi-humans, should have some type of equality. They show signs of intelligence, and they should be treated kind of like humans. Well, there's most people don't believe in that because they're like, we're humans, they are below us, i.e. the whole Colosseum thing with all them fighting all these creatures and stuff that were running away from them. So everyone keeps picking on Katie because she's of the spectrum of people that like the demi-humans and the ones that don't. She's like extremely over, like, yes, they're equal and we need to love them, and she tries to keep them alive, she tries to talk to them and all this stuff. So that's, other students are like, oh, that's so weird, and they pick on her. So that's the reason why everyone picks on her, because she wants to be nice to non-humans. That's about it. And this is why this girl decided to pick on Katie day one, because she heard that she was like that and had her scurry. But as she was saying, she wasn't thinking that the troll would like attack her, but she just wanted her to like cause a ruckus and be like, ha 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 ha, yeah, screw her. But next, one of the most important things that happened this episode, your boy is right again. I speculated that this girl was bad news on the last analysis of last week. You can go back and watch it, but we were correct. The fact is, she was behind everything. She was the one that she's apparently been messing with the demi-humans. She's kind of like Katie in the fact that she feels that demi-humans should be studied, but she's kind of on the deep end. Her whole thing is researching their brains. And once she learned that Katie can talk to the troll, she's like, oh, Katie's important. So she abducts Katie and wants to study her brainstem to see what makes her the thing that all these demi-humans like. And I'm sitting there like, she's nice to them. You don't need to study that, but whatever. So she's behind everything, and come to find out that eye is a basilisk eye that can turn people into stone, which almost turned Nanao to stone, but thanks to Oliver, she got back to normal. So next episode is basically going to be their fight, and which is, it's going to be amazing. One thing I looked at and examined, especially from Nanao and how Oliver, I think that Oliver is going to pop off like crazy going against this girl. I think Oliver is geared towards fighting other people, while Nanao is actually geared towards fighting the monsters and such. That is why Nanao was absolutely crazy and doing well against the monsters that we've had previously, while it looked like Oliver was struggling, even though he's supposed to be really strong. So I'm thinking in this next week episode, we're probably going to see Oliver pop off because he probably knows spells and counter spells and stuff to actually go against other people, while Nanao is still kind of learning this stuff, because he was even teaching Nanao how to, with her own sword, while everyone has these little like wand looking swords things, she's over there trying to manifest stuff out of her like actual sword. I'm like, dang. And he's trying to teach her and help her out. So I wouldn't be surprised if in this next episode, when they actually have like real like PvP stuff, Oliver is going to actually shine, and now Nanao is going to have some issues. So it's like an MMO. Oliver is PvP oriented and Nanao is over here PvE. That's my biggest assessment that I saw from this episode. Whew. There was a lot that happened in this episode, and hopefully the rapid fireness wasn't an issue. But there was a few things that I saw and speculated and I wrote down, and I guess I'm losing my voice here, but it's actually pretty interesting, and I'm actually liking this show because, like I said, I think it's going to be pretty crazy as it keeps going. And it was actually kind of funny how some of the students realized after some of the other students died in the previous episode, they're like, dang, we could really die here. It's like, no duh. Why do you think they told you that in the beginning when you went to school? Like, hey, so many people die here. And you're like, oh, this is going to be so fun. Now you're having issues. Such a good show. I'm enjoying it. I hope you guys are as well. We'll definitely be catching more of this as the weeks come on, but make sure you guys comment down below what you guys think. Like I said, it seemed like a lot happened in this episode, but maybe you guys didn't catch as much as I did, but maybe you caught more. I don't know. And there are some things I'm not talking about because we'll, like I said, get to them probably in the future. I have the feeling that this fight is going to end the first like story arc, and then another story arc is going to come into play. We shall see. But yet again, like the video, make sure you guys subscribe. We'll definitely be talking about more anime in the future. So stay tuned, be safe. Lord willing, I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye for now. Make sure to check out the extra content on our Patreon page, and thanks to our current patrons.
This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon.